Oh, why, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Reza's Thoughts, and as always, this is Reza-Kaze here. Today's game I have for you is Batman Arkham City. This is probably the newest sort of game, aside from my Final Fantasy talk that I've done. The closest sort of game that was released new that you're probably going to be seeing for a while here. And this is actually going to be the last true Reza's Thoughts until sometime in August, because that's when Darksiders 2 comes out. And if you watch my channel update, you know I'll be definitely giving that one in for you as soon as I get it. But let's head right into Arkham City, and I'm going to start with the negative first. Let's bash this game in right away here, for the most part. The first and only negative thing I have to say about the game, up to about maybe the first fourth or fifth of the game, is it's an open world, but the story stays pretty linear. And unfortunately, I really have to stop putting this as my negative or positive, because it really counteracts what I believe in a game. It always has games is starting to become more open world stories, and I don't really like it all that much. And I think maybe the giant open world of it, I guess, could be a negative, but when I wrote my notes, this was a long time ago, and that it's an open world, you have all this stuff here, but the story seems very linear. Of course, it sounds stupid because every game has, you got those little side missions, and you got that one thing to bring the story forward. But I think what games really should be starting off new is a sort of, every mission really is the beginning of the next one. And there's always going to be a side quest. It's really stupid, but the open world type games sort of irks me in the way of like a retelling of a story, like I said before. But let's get right to the positive part, and it goes right into what I was saying before, and how I should stop calling them positive or negatives, that it's a more open world. And to be honest, I actually really like the open world. I may hate the open world non-linear style of games, because you never know what you're going to come across in the game to get all that. But Arkham Asylum was definitely small. You had to go a certain direction. With Arkham City, however, that's the meaning of open world. You can go just about anywhere. There's a few locked off points for a certain while, for a certain length period of the game, but they do become open gradually as you get, your abilities, more powers, all that other fun jazz stuff. The other positive that I have to say is that this game has 10 times better voice acting and voice and acting stories. It is so much better. In Arkham Asylum, I pointed out as a huge negative excuse me, that when the characters were talking, it just kind of like is there, and the camera was, going back to their faces, and they didn't have any sort of, expressions. They were almost lifeless. They were just, speaking the words, literally reading from a script. And right here, I didn't even look at well, I did see the ground. I just was like, screw it. I think I can get it. The cryptograph, I learned here that it doesn't work the same way as it did in Arkham Asylum, that you have to be right up on it, otherwise it doesn't do the same exact thing, which I guess that could be a negative thing you have the same devices, but they do quite a bit different things unless you're right on it. It doesn't have the long range frequency stuff anymore. I tried going, well, let me get back to the positive thing before I go any further. I don't think I had any cutscenes in this one, but the voice acting was excellent. It had complete and absolute like symbiosis with the characters. They were talking to each other. They were playing off their feelings. They were, you know, watching their movements, being worried about, you know, if they're going this way, is it, should I be worried? Should I feel comfortable with them? You know, that sort of thing. And that's exactly what I wanted to see from just like their body language. Their voice was a lot more, had more feeling in it. Like the characters were actually there. So much better. It really made the whole experience of the game better. Overall, the reviews raved about the game. Really, you know, gave it, I'm not sure what sort of awards it won because I'm not going to look it up, but I'm sure it did. You know, some, you know, Game of the Year nominations, if not Game of the Year. I honestly don't know. I don't really care about the Game of the Year awards, to be honest with you. I'm a gamer, and I'm saying that, which really sounds bad, but you know, Game of the Year, those Game of the Year awards don't really mean a damn thing. I mean, a Zelda game, I'm not bashing on Zelda, because Zelda is one of the, you know, the grandfather games that made gaming what it is today. I'll definitely admit that, even though I'm not a huge Zelda fan. I don't really play it. I know some of the story to what I can hold up on, but I think a Zelda game won Game of the Year when it came out in November or December. I don't think a game should win Game of the Year like that. And when a game like that comes out at the end of the year, wins a Game of the Year in a matter of a month span, rather than the game that's come out, you know, February or March, 9-10 months worth of sales, I don't trust those kind of awards. But it is a sequel, so you have to worry about, you know, the kind of the problems that these people sort of have with the game. You know, are you gonna have, you know, a shoddy sequel, something that doesn't excel with the game? What's gonna happen? I couldn't figure this puzzle out either, but I probably could have done it now, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I stopped trying to go for all the riddlers and crap like that. Excuse me. Up to this point, it really excels the first game against the first game. Even now, early on, I think it just is much of the darkness of the game, because you're thinking of Batman. The maturity, the intensity has already surpassed the entire Arkham Asylum game. And this is only the first, like, fifth of the game. That was a tough one to say, but I really think that's the point. This game is so much better than Arkham Asylum already, and I'm really enjoying it. It was definitely a fun game to play, definitely a fun game playing. And that's about all the thoughts I have to say. My before thoughts are positive, so hopefully the game will end as strong as it started. So I hope you enjoyed my preview of Batman Arkham City, and I will see you in the next video.